or 5 logs on the negativity fire. One of them is a critical eye. A critical eye. Pastor Rick's one of the most positive people I know. Amen. And one of the reasons why he's so positive is he literally cannot see anything wrong with anything. Ever. We would have, way back when the church was smaller, we would have every Tuesday, we would have a service review meeting where we would sit in a room with the worship leader and a couple of other people and Pastor Rick and I, and we would go over the service. This was Pastor Rick's comment 6, 7, 8 years in a row. I thought it was awesome. I thought it was great. Well, what about areas for improvement? I can't think of any. I don't know how it could get better than that. Really? No, I don't want to get critical of him right now. How many people would say, I do see the negative. I constantly see it and recognize it and have to put it down. Put up your hand if you're like that. Put up your hand if you're like, yeah, I really don't see it. Someone have to point it out to me. I'm just humming a tune, having an awesome day again today. Go ahead, put up your hand if you're like that. Love you. You're like that too. I see your smile right there. You are like that. I know you are. I'm trying to love you. Now, those are two very different things. And if you're a person who has a critical thought, an eye for things, you see, that's too short. That's the wrong color. That's the second thing, wrong expectations. You just have wrong expectations. The story is told of an old man whose grandson rode a donkey while they were traveling from one city to another. So here's a man walking, the grandfather walking, pulling the donkey, the grandson on the donkey. The man heard some people say, would you look at that old man suffering on his feet while that strong young boy who is totally capable should be walking? And he heard it, so the old man got on the donkey, allowed the boy to walk, and then he heard some people say, would you look at that, a healthy man making the poor young boy suffer? Can you believe that? So the man and the boy both rode the donkey. Heard some people say, would you look at those two heavy brutes making that poor donkey suffer? So they got off and they both walked until they heard some people say, what a waste, a perfectly good donkey. Finally, the scene is closing and the boy and the old man are walking, carrying the donkey. And with some people, you can't win. True that. With some people, you can't win. And if your expectation is that you're going to frame a sentence, write a paragraph, have a phone conversation, give them a resource, and they're going to wake up to that massive consuming negativity, and that's not coming. That's not coming. And so if you have an expectation of something that isn't likely coming, that could be a log on the fire of your negativity. I relate to that a lot. Just let it go. Just let it go. It's not going to change. Critical eye, wrong expectations, negative friends. When surrounded by wrongdoers, wrongdoing comes easily. And if your friends aren't friends of faith, if your friends are friends of doubt, you hang up the phone with them, you're like, oh, I got to remember not to take her call. Because every time you do, you're going to get an earful of what's wrong with the world and wrong with her life and wrong with your hair and wrong with your this. And you can make the break there. Do it graciously. Life's too short. Families forever. Friends are optional. Unresolved hurt. Negativity often flows from unresolved hurt. I'll go first and say that I understand that. It has to get resolved. Sometimes you can find yourself kicking the dog when you're not mad at the dog at all. It's something else. And you can't get to the bottom of it. And so it wells up inside you and comes out elsewhere. Thank God for patient, loving spouses and friends who absorb that, but don't stay there. Let it go. Move on. And then lastly, bad time management. Bad time management leads to a lot of negativity. If you have too much time on your hands, you know, you're just a screen and a mouse away from becoming an internet troll, going around searching for significance, leaving your who cares comments all over everything, just trying to get your voice heard. No one is blessed by that. You're not helping anything if you have too much time on your hands. If you have too little time on your hands and you're late for this and late for that and late for that, you're running all the time, and this is more what I would battle. And you're looking for places and people to bear the weight of the fact that you've taken on too much. And you're going to express your frustration in that context. Better to do a lot less things